Mama Soul Doc here. I'm not a medical doctor or a mental health care practitioner. I just want to talk today about the law of large numbers. So, the thing is, lots of people come in here with things like, I can't meet somebody, I can't fall in love, I can't get enough customers, I, have a limitation somewhere. And so, obviously, I believe as a hypnotist that there's something behind that that's subconscious, right? There's no reason you would believe that unless there was some, reason creating that belief system. So the point of the work that I'm doing is, well, let's get to the bottom of that so that you don't get confused about what you really believe. And once we get to that point of clarity, we're able to move through it and find a resource to get out of it. So that's the, point of the hypnotic method. At the same time, the reality of living in the world, like the material world, which is not the real world, in my opinion. Like the real world is the energy world, spiritual world, whatever you want to call it. But the truth is, we are here in our bodies wearing our t-shirts and stuff. And so I am embodied, even though I'm not my body. But because I'm embodied, there's no way to participate in the stuff that's happening out here without employing some basic statistics, right? So the reality of nature, for example, is too many things are produced so that the right amount or enough, let's say enough, are of things exist, right? So that's the same in our life. The same thing exists on our human, personal, small level life, which is we need to have, in many cases, more of the options so that the ones that work out are the ones that stick, or that there's enough to choose from. And so I'll give an example. For example, with the love problem. So, I can't meet somebody. Okay, so you work through your initial reason for having that. Maybe it's a belief system from childhood, maybe it's abuse, maybe it's, could be 5,000 different things. It could be a mix of things that I don't even know what they are. But whatever it is, you figure out, okay, so I'm really ready for it. I'm really ready to clear that. But then comes the problem of the statistics, which is clearing it does not mean that the next thing that happens is that person like walks through the door. Because that would be like probably kind of weird. It does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I definitely think that there are lots of cases of an energy is cleared and then something occurs. But I think in many other cases, you can make an opening and yet still there is a conversation that needs to be had or a experience. And so that's where people then come back to me and say, I'm stuck. I can't meet that person. So then I say like, well, what did you do? And they're like, well, basically nothing. Okay, did you get on a dating app? No. Did you hire someone? No. Did you ask your friends? No. Did you tell anyone? No. Okay, so are you in a fantasy? I mean, that's what I'm laughing about is then comes the law of statistics. There has to be some kind of action that underpins the change of belief so that there's a critical mass enough to choose from. So that's true in terms of getting clients for a business. Like people say no to me all the time. People will sign up to talk to me and then they don't purchase the product. And if I didn't know those people, I wouldn't know the ones who do buy it. I used to have the same thing in real estate. You would lose deals all the time. Termination. But that was okay because if you didn't have all those terminations, you wouldn't have the sales either. So that's what this talk is about, is there's the level of subconsciousness, the most essential level, the indisputable, basis of the whole thing, in my opinion. But then there's also the realm of mathematics, which is the way the world operates. When I was a graduate student and, working on my PhD, that's what I worked on, was like the way that Plato believed that mathematics is the truest, closest to the truth of all the things that are. And so that's a whole other conversation, but it kind of comes back to this idea that I'm saying, which is it is a mathematical universe. Everything is organized at some level in a mathematical way. And if we ignore the laws of mathematics and statistical probability, that's our problem. Hope that helps. This is Mama Soul Duck in Montreal, Quebec. Thanks for listening.